Riesa Marlowe, and this is Reisa's Rockin the Spa. Today is August the 12th, I believe, and I am joined by the lovely and amazing Roberta Acosta, and let's say, and apparently I'm embarrassed, the wonderful Roberta Acosta, who is a restaurateur. She owns the deliciously fabulous establishment called Mi Casa, and that is in Ballston Spa. And she is joining me to chat about, a few different things this evening. So welcome, Roberta. Hi.
Thank you, Reisa. Thank you.
So I really wanted to talk a little bit about what is it like operating at this time as a restaurateur? Obviously, a lot of things have changed. So, how is that for you? How's it working? Like, how's it going?
Right. Well, I mean, I think like as everyone in business or not in business, right? We were all like rocked back in March. I think like it was a Monday night and they told us, okay, after 8 p.m. you can't have people dining anymore.
Right.
That's really how we were told. And I think the thing that saved us was I have such a good team here. I mean, my cousin Mike runs the restaurant, and I think like it was just like the adrenaline kicked in, and he said, okay, so we're going to just go to go. And we ended up doing 7 days a week. We're usually 6 days. And my daughter, Mariah, she's so helpful. We got she put this amazing to-go system in place. And I mean, I owe so much of everything to our community, right? Because they're the people that kept us going. Because without those people ordering to go, I mean, it would be, I don't know, we wouldn't be here.
Right.
But
you'd be closed.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I feel like we're still on such a roller coaster. I mean, I feel like when they just said a few weeks ago, okay, you can open 50% inside, it almost like was harder.
Yes.
For me, I think that people got excited because they want normalcy. But I mean, as a business owner, we all want to be working, but as being in a restaurant is so intimate, right? So
yes,
I was thinking, what's better now than what was going on in March, right?
Yes.
So
right.
It's scary. I mean,
yes. So didn't you? I think you started opening, right, and then you decided to just stick with outdoor dining and the to-go. Is that correct?
Yeah. So we opened about a week, almost about 5 days after they allowed. We didn't do it right away. We waited about 5 days. Opened inside at 50%. It was okay, but then it's just every kind of other day I would get a notification of a local restaurant that had a COVID exposure. And I thought, they always say go with your gut. There was just something in me that was like, if that happens, you really have to shut down for probably 2 weeks. And just you want your name, it could be detrimental. It could be detrimental to your business. So
reputation
we decided
is
to go back. Yeah.
Reputation is so important. Yeah.
Yeah, especially in our small community, right? So
exactly.
We made that decision to go just outside and then back to the to-go.
How has it been? Yeah. But it's been really busy, correct? Like a lot of takeout.
Yeah. I noticed. So it kept us. Everyone kept us going during the dining out only, right? And then I noticed when they allowed to open 50%, it definitely slowed down the takeout. And I got nervous, obviously, because I'm thinking we can still only do 5 tables inside. I saw it get slow a little bit. And then, we have our nights like Taco Tuesdays, right? Where you have $2 tacos. And that's just a staple night. So on those nights, you're going. But it's still good. But I do notice a little bit of it's a little different, because I think people are able to go out now.
Yeah. But, even as a diner, I am still preferring to take out food.
Yep.
you know, and we've definitely even taken out food from your restaurant. And
oh, I know you have. You guys are awesome.
It was delicious. It was amazing. It was actually just like it was when we eat there. So I think that this has been really an amazing thing for diners to be able to get their favorite food at restaurants. And I think it's hard because some restaurants are, maybe they're either whatever it is set up better for it. I know that you have more space outside your restaurant now than you did before, correct?
Correct. Yeah, we expanded when we closed inside probably to 5 more tables than we normally have. So it definitely helps with whatever we're losing inside. But yeah, I mean, listen, I think as business owners, as you know, we just are trying to do what we have to do, you know, and
keep everybody safe.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's scary, right? Because it's not only our customers, but we're people, right? And then we have families that we go home to, and you know, I have family that has compromised immune systems, and we don't, you know, thank God none of us have been sick, thank God, you know, or anyone I know, but I don't know, like, if we really know the extent of what this is, and that's like the unknown.
I know,
right?
It seems to change every other week, right? Mm-hmm. First, we don't wear masks, then wear masks, then, you know, this is a respiratory disease, and then no, there's that whole blood clot problems. So they're saying maybe it's a circulatory disease. So yeah, I think there's still a whole lot of unknowns about this for sure. The other thing I was going to ask you about is how has it affected your health? Because I know that some restaurants restaurateurs and restaurant owners have talked about that they have less people to actually work in the restaurant, and therefore either can't open or can't have the same hours that they did before because they don't have people. So how's that going for you?
I think that when that happened, right, a lot of people, I think that some restaurants just took a break in March, and then those employees went on unemployment, and then they had that amazing bonus. And I think friends of mine that own restaurants too, they're saying people don't want to come back to work. So they're lacking staff. So for us, it's, you know, because we're close, right? Like it's my family. So from the day one of this, it's been my cooks have stayed with me. So we have 3 girls in the back, and then it's been Mike, my daughter, and me. So we were the ones just doing the takeout, and that was fine because we were delivering too, but it was, you know, we could sustain everything. And then, when we opened, the issue is, okay, you can open, but you're still going to have the to-go. And how do you get to your customers? That's been a challenge for us because I have a mom who has worked with me for years, but my dad is 80 and he has underlying health conditions. So I'm not going to bring my mom here, who's also older, and put her here.
And how do you start over?
We are struggling with that.
Sure. Yeah. I think a lot of businesses are definitely struggling with that. We're, you know, we even, not that most of our people, you know, are practitioners, so they're back, right? Because they've chosen to, even coming back slowly, right? But somebody that we had coming in and helping us with things, she was afraid for a while to come back. Not because, I mean, and we have incredibly stringent, you know, rules and guidelines.
Amazing. Yeah. I've always said that to you. I'm like, this is like Mrs. Clean in here. I mean, you're always on, but I know that you take every precaution.
Thanks. Right. Like you do too. Yeah. I mean, right. Yeah. It's squeaky. So, you know, but still, I think people are afraid because of this like unknown thing. Like we don't know really what this thing is or whatever. So I think that that's definitely been a problem.
And it always goes back to what is better now, August 12th, than back on March 20th. What is better? There's no sure. If anything, we found out more things that are not that good. So
what's better?
Don't know.
You know what's better? I think we've spent more time with our families.
Oh,
I think
absolutely.
Maybe, our lives have slowed down a little bit.
We learned that we don't need so much.
Right? Yeah, we learned that maybe we don't need so much, or we have to be running around as much as we did before. I think that we've learned that like the small things, like going out to dinner, like having your lashes done, means so much. Like we didn't even realize.
Don't take it for granted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like just, coming after work, coming over to Mi Casa after work and sitting down and, smiling at Mike and seeing you, you know what I mean? These kinds of things, these neighborhood things that we just took for granted. Like, it's another long day, another long week. Here I am, right? And I think that we realize, this is a lot of like my clients have been saying to me too, like it's all those little tiny things that we just never thought about, like that you come to a restaurant, it's crowded. It's great. Oh, it's crowded. Oh, they're booming. Yay. It's that's a really different thing, right?
I think that that's another hard part. People like, okay, 90% of the people are so understanding, but you still have the people that are like, we talk about help. We're running a business with a staff of 3 people working so hard in the kitchen. And then Mike, who is really running the entire show on his own. And then, people will sit and they're like, well, we've been waiting a half an hour. And I'm like, okay, but everything is cooked to order. And we're really like, we're stressed. Like we're running on E. We're doing the best we can, and those are the nights that I leave here and I'm frustrated and because everyone is doing what we can. Listen, that happens so far and few between, but it does go back to having the staff. We don't have the staff that we have. And I don't feel comfortable just like hiring right now in the middle of all of this because it's, I feel good. And I think a lot of our success and a lot of what because look, it's you, Dave, right? Mariah, like, who your people are. And I think that's what works for us. From day one, it's just been us. And so we can take all the precautions and get tested and know how everyone's feeling because it's such a small group.
Exactly.
But
right. So just reaching out to anybody, then you don't really know. And aside from that, there's a ramp up to the person even knowing the way that you operate, how you do things. It takes time. You don't just jump in and know exactly what's going on, right?
You're right. It's definitely like sometimes I read things which we shouldn't read much on the internet, right? But you think I was just thinking like I was watching a live thing the other day and it was like how come the fall and winter like restaurants might really just like collapse, and I was like, oh my gosh. But it is the unknown, honestly, right?
Roberta, in life, do we ever really know? This is, I think, one of the things that sort of kept me afloat because it is totally scary. Especially like you said, for business owners, right? The small business owners who are, taking care of and servicing the local people and all the people around us, right? So, there is a really scary thing like, well, what happens if we really tank, right?
Right.
Everything. But, the thing that keeps me afloat and kept me afloat through this whole thing is that, honestly, and you know this too, we never really know what's coming around the corner.
No, you're right. In life,
we never do. So
you're
it's
always
really no different. It's really no different.
No, you're right.
It's just in our face. So we're dealing with it. It was interesting. One of the my last guest was Diane Webb, and she's a therapist, right? And what she was saying is that one of the most uncomfortable things that's going on now is that humans like to plan. We like to say, like, in 3 months, we're going on vacation, we're going here, we're doing this.
Yeah.
Right? So next week,
causes stress.
Well, next week we're doing this, we're doing that, we're going to here, we're taking a vacation. And now we can't do that. There's no certainty to like what's coming when. And I think that makes it really uncomfortable. So I really wish that the news, the papers, the New York Times, the news on television, that they wouldn't focus on, the doom, the coming possible doom, because that's the big drama story.
But that's what sells. That's what sells. Right?
Unfortunately, that's what sells. But I think that there's a lot of good that's come out of this. And I think that there's a lot of good that will come. And most likely, it will just work its way out like every other crisis that we go through from time to time, right? So a good thing that I know that you did during this time was you rebranded.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. So how did that epiphany come to you? How long were you working on that? How did you bring that? How did it come about?
Yeah. So probably when we moved here in 2016, and I don't know, one day I was doodling and I like Mi Casa, my house. I think it's modern. It represents like what I feel about my business, because it's my family. My kids grew up here and they work here, and so I've always loved that. Leon's was, it's the name of my children, and it's, we still have that on the menu because it's a big part of who we are, what we do. But people never, like, they didn't pronounce it right, and I don't think it was like associated with Mexican. If you think about it, like, people would call it Leon's because they don't, Leon's is like an accent. Right. And so think about it, like, if you are going to get Mexican, usually you're going to like ponchos or sombreros or, like that's a Mexican. Yeah. And that always bothered me because I felt like we were working so hard and we couldn't get to that point where I wanted to be. And I always was like frustrated. And I think that a little bit had to do with that because people really didn't know. I mean, there's so many amazing people that know us, but new people. So we didn't choose to do it back when we moved here because we felt like we had such a legacy. The following. Like 2002, we opened in 2002, 2016. But then during all this, you had a lot of time to sit around, right? And even though we were busy worker bees in here, like, I said to Mike, like, I think this is it. Like, what are we waiting for? Everything's changed. Everything's changed this year. And there's a lot of people requesting vegan, and I know that's important to people. And we added a whole vegan section and some really cool appetizers that people don't do around here. We have
Tell me about that. What do you got?
Yeah, we have tostones, which are fried plantains.
Oh, yummy.
Fried plantain, like kind of like, they look like potato chips, but they're fresh cut fried plantains that we fry.
Delicious.
And we serve with like a chipotle sauce. And then we have an esquite. It's so in Mexico they sell the Mexican street corn, which a lot of us know, corn on the cob with butter and the cotija cheese and cilantro. But instead of us serving it on the corn on the cob style, because being in New York State, upstate New York, we know that corn is seasonal, right? We put it in a cup, so it's like fresh corn off the cob, and then we make it like in a cup form. So that's been like really popular. It comes with like chili powder and the cotija cheese and a sauce that we make up. So we've like added some really cool. Oh, we have the most amazing new taco. It's al pastor, which is like a thin pork, and we cook it with fresh pineapple, so it's grilled together. It's called al pastor. It's delicious. It's my favorite thing. So we were able to kind of. I always would say, whatever's on the menu is something that I would want to eat, right? Like, that's always been important to me. There's things that are so important to me on that menu that are like I have
what?
to have.
Tell me, what's
the
your favorite?
Flautas. My favorite is the flautas, the number 6, which is fresh pulled chicken wrapped in corn tortilla, and we roll it up and fry it, and then it gets covered. Now this is an upgrade that we do. We have so there's sour cream, right? But they sell a Mexican crema, which is it's a thinner cream, and it's like it has it just has a really good flavor to it. So we top the flautas with that. That's a new thing. And then it has queso fresco crumbled all over it.
Delicious.
And they're so good. And then, so that and the al pastor tacos. So I just think they're like really good new additions. We had some really cool things planned back in January, I ordered all this furniture straight from Mexico.
Oh, wow.
Like hand painted chairs, and
where is it?
Oh, they're so cool. You want to see them?
Yeah, you have them?
Yeah, let me see if I can like get a picture here.
Yes, show us.
Hold on one second.
Okay, can we get another shot of that?
Yeah, hang on one minute. Go start us and go ahead, Roberta.
Okay, so these are some of like the hand painted chairs we have.
Oh, those are gorgeous.
Yeah, they're all different. So these are all like different chairs.
Oh, that's so cool.
Hand painted
tables. My goodness.
But then the really cool thing are these new in Mexico. We had already ordered that before this occurred, the pandemic. And we had this cool this cart, right? It's this cart where you can put like different like sauces and things like that. And the idea behind it was, you know, Mike makes really good homemade hot sauces and salsas. So it was going to be that whoever was dining could come up and help themselves. I mean,
God.
So that's some sad stuff that.
Yeah, but that's for the future. That's for the future.
We have it. I'll tell you what we have. We have a frozen rosé on the machine.
Oh, that's neat.
So, super good, yeah.
Okay, I will have to come in and try some of that. You know, one of the things that I noticed, I've been to Mexico several times, and two things I've noticed there. Well, more probably, but I mean, first of all, it's gorgeous and so lush, at least where I was, okay? Because it's a pretty big country, right?
Yeah.
But also, what I really noticed was like so much music and the colors, much art, the colors and the music. And that's something I was going to say to you that I always feel when I come to your restaurant is there's always a feeling of that kind of lively, like it's all about like living.
So nice. Yeah.
And being alive. You have such phenomenal taste in music. It's like you could be, I think you could be a VJ.
You said that one. That's so funny. You know me, I'd be like holding
right? Spinning. Yep.
Yeah.
I think you could definitely do that. So, all right. So now you've rebranded.
Yep.
Now you're Mi Casa, which is my house.
My house, yep.
It really feels like that. It's always felt like that at your restaurant. You know, you had 3 locations, right?
2. So the one before I was in Saratoga and then this one here.
I thought there was 2 in Saratoga. Maybe I just sat in a different area, but I came with my friends. But maybe I just sat in a different place than I had before. Yeah. But okay, 2 locations. And they both have had that feeling of like, we're coming to your house. To your house.
That's so nice. Thank you.
You know, you're welcome. It's really a nice thing for a restaurant because it feels authentic. And I think that's something that, you know, with every business, right? We want to like put that across.
Incorporate. Right. Who we are.
Exactly. Exactly. So tell me, what are you looking forward to? Now that you've rebranded, you've done this. You know, the world didn't fall when you rebranded. It's hard to rebrand, right? And so isn't it?
I'm always up for the challenge. It was
right.
It was a little bit harder than I thought. Yeah, there was, and you know, you have the people like, is it still you? I thank God for social media. Social media is so awesome. We were able to keep our page and just change the name, right? Or go into Google. I mean, things like that were important. I was a little nervous. I'm pretty much like, you can't tell me what I'm gonna do kind of person.
Really, Roberta? I'm shocked.
But I had some moments of like doubt because people were like, you can't, that's the worst idea ever. And I said, well, you know what? Price Chopper was Price Chopper for like 40 years and now they're Market 32. And I still shop there. I respect what they're trying to do, right? And so I had a few of those moments. I think that, you know, we're like over a month in and it feels good now. I feel comfortable.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's work to rebrand. It's a little scary, but nothing good is worth it without, you know, the fear, I guess.
It's the truth,
Everything
isn't
good
it?
takes work. Yeah, everything
Everything,
good takes
yes.
work.
Everything
I
good
always tell
takes
my
work.
kids.
Yeah, everything
Otherwise,
good.
everyone would do it. Everyone would do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you looking forward to? You've rebranded. You've got a new menu, or
Yeah.
some new things on the menu.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to? What are you excited about?
I'm looking forward to, I think, like, just our growth. I love the person that comes in and has never ordered, or their first time eating, or you get that phone call, we heard it's so good. That always, like, makes me feel good, you know. And just, you know, I'm just hopeful for the future that, you know, obviously everybody stays healthy and we can get back to somewhat normalcy. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I've enjoyed the downtime. I'm not a person that likes downtime. I really don't have like that relaxing gene, but you know what? It's been so good to be with my kids. And I don't know, like, I just, what you were saying before, like, the world has changed, and I think we kind of all needed that. But
Yeah, I think the focus on family is great. You know, the
yeah,
fact that I think even that you run a business, it's unusual today to see businesses that are family owned and family operated.
right,
And I think that that's something maybe that other people that we can learn from and learn
right,
and work towards is having those values, those family values, and the closeness of
yeah.
family and what that brings about. You know what I mean?
It's
It's
gotten
just
lost. It's gotten lost, you know, and I mean, just my kids sometimes are like, "Oh, you work all the time," and but
right.
you know, I mean, and I say, but that's, you know, I'm lucky to be with you, and that's the good thing about being a mom and being self-employed, as I'm sure you know, experienced as a mom. And um, I think it's, you know, you have the pleasure of, my daughter has the pleasure of being with under you,
We
and
both, yeah, we both do.
and
Mariah works
yeah,
with me. Yeah.
yeah, and just like, I think I love that she sees an independent woman like you doing her thing. And you know, I mean, I love working with, I love having my kids here, like watching her. She was a baby. She was 2 years old when we started this. And you know, I look forward to the community here, and just meeting more people. And I mean, I think we're just so fortunate to live in just such a good area. I never
Yeah.
can, like, I feel like I never can show my gratitude enough to everyone. Like, they come and order and they're like, "No, but we like the food." But it's just like when someone has a service with you, it's like, it feels so good, right? So I love
Yes.
that. After a night where people, you know, it was just a good night. People are happy. People are, I mean, there's so much good to look forward to. I think you have
Right.
to just feel like that. And if you feel like
Yes.
that, you will find the good, you know?
That's it. I think it's what we sort of focus on and what we look for, and that
Right,
we bring that about in our lives, you know,
right,
whether it's
right.
seeing something in our business, like, I think this will be better in the business, right? Whether
Right,
it's
right.
rebranding or changing a menu, or, you know, for me, you know, things have definitely shifted in my business as far as even the services that I offer or stopped
Absolutely.
offering or things like
Yeah,
that. But it's like grow, I think it's really grow or die in the universe,
I
right?
know.
We have to grow. We have to keep
Yeah,
going, getting up, doing that thing, and continuing, you know, to keep ourselves alive, right? To keep it
right, right,
fresh.
right. That's
And you
so
know, I think
important.
so important.
Yeah,
Yeah. And as, you know, to function in all those different ways. And I think that that's something that I really respect about you, is that you do have, you are a mom, you're a woman, you know what I mean? You're a wife,
yeah,
you're a
yeah.
restaurateur, you have all these things going, and it's not easy to manage all of those things at any given time, right?
It's hard.
And
Yeah, it's hard.
how do you find that balance, right? How do you find that balance?
I
What do you
think it's
do?
just, I think it's just, I think my middle name should have been Chaos. I do, because I
Okay,
just,
Roberta, I can call you Chaos.
It
just
is because
say K and we'll know.
I think it's my demeanor. I have a 12-year-old who is so much like me. It's scary. But I had Mariah early, right, at a young age. And so we kind of grew up together. And I've had so I have 5 kids. And then,
right,
you work. And I've always worked. I've always loved, I sold real estate when she was a baby in Long Island. And then we moved here and opened the restaurant. And I don't know, like I just love being independent, and it just, it feels good. Like we have one life, I always try to tell my kids that. And we were so fortunate to be born in the United States. I always tell them that because really we have the opportunities to do what we want to do. So yeah. I've always been a go-getter, and I don't know what it's like to rest. I feel guilty to rest.
Yeah.
So
right. Okay. So if there was like one word to sum up you, to sum you up, what would it be? Would it be chaos? I don't think so. What would it be?
Oh, I don't know.
The ever ready bunny?
I think, you know what? I've always referred to myself as driven.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah. I think with any challenge, and being in my life so long, I've had some pretty
good challenges.
Yep. Good challenges. And I just think that if you have that drive in you, it just does something where you really can like be successful. I remember when I was 20 and we opened a restaurant, and I'll never forget this. Our food sales rep would come in. He was a guy from like US Foods, and he would say to me, usually 80-90% of business restaurants close in 6 months, the first 6 months. And I was, 21 years old. I was like, oh, I believed him, and it's true. I mean, it's, statistics are not good. And we make it to 6 months, and I'd say, what is the stats now? And, I'd make it to a year, and I just think like, I don't know, like just that drive. And just to not be a procrastinator, I always like, if you can get something done, just get it done. And that always contributes. And listen, any business owner, I love like those memes on Instagram where it's like the roller coaster, like this is a business owner's life, and that you're on the roller coaster and your hair is like, but
yes,
I always say like, and my kids are at tough ages now, right? 21, 16, and sometimes they say like, what, life is so awful, or it's so hard. And I say to them, it is so hard, right? I feel like the older you get, you realize life is so hard. But I said, it's like the beautiful moments in life that make the hard moments feel little, right? So for me, I had a pretty tough day yesterday here at work. I kind of got beat up. It was a busy night. But you get up the next day and the people still come. Right. And you still have a good night. And so that's like what,
don't you think that's what makes success? You just get up and you go and you do it all over again, right?
Yeah. And if you're doing the right thing, like the little complaints don't matter because you're doing the right thing. And the older I get, it kind of brushes off, and you just get up and do it again.
You get up, get up and do it again.
You get up and do it again.
Yeah. I think that that has a lot to do with success, Roberta, is just sort of not taking no for an answer, right? And saying, what do I need to do next? What do I do next? What do I do next?
Right.
That doesn't work, do this.
How do I overcome?
Do it again.
How do we overcome this? There's always something you can do. So
yeah.
I mean, that's the beauty though, right?
That is the beauty. Yeah. So if you had it to do all over again, would you do a restaurant again? Would you do it at 20? Would you do it again? I love my business. I would totally do it all over again.
You know what?
I think you would too.
I think that we end up, I had all these, and I didn't make it to Hollywood. So, I mean, I guess I would have to do it again.
You're still gorgeous. So,
yeah. No, I mean, you know what? It's all our circumstances. And I just believe like we end up where we're supposed to. You know, I'm
somehow.
so fortunate. I'm so fortunate. Yes. Knowing what I know, I would do it again, because it provides a good life, and I'm, you know, it's good when you're a mom. Like, you know, my kids have been here from, if they have to be, and, you know, that's a lot of things that, you know, a lot of moms can't do. So
that's right.
I would do it all over again.
Perfect.
Do it all over again.
I'm going to hold you to that. So anyway, I want to thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you,
me
Lisa.
tonight.
Thank you so much.
On the show. So tell us, it's Mi Casa, right?
Yep, Mi
You're in
Casa.
Ballston Spa.
Yep.
On Route 50.
Yep, on Route 50. We have, it's www.micasanewyork, all one word.com.
Is it New York NY or N-E-W-Y?
It's spelled out. Yep, Mi Casa New York, spelled out.
So it's MICASANEWYORK.com.
Yeah, that's our new website. Our new website. You can find our, we keep our Facebook and Instagram pretty up to date. And there's contact info. And so we're open 6 days. We close Sunday. But we are still doing our dining, curbside pickup, and our patio is here. And, you know, we're going to kind of go with the flow to figure out inside. But, we're here. We are here.
Great music. Great music. So I really enjoy that. And thank you. I really appreciate you coming on the show and sharing with me.
So good to see you.
I will see you soon.
So good to see you. Thank you, Reisa.
Night.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.